Get the fuck out of here. Hey guys, welcome to the 3D Animation Hub. My name is Brian, a 3D animator, and today we're reacting to Kin of the Stained Blade. I think that's right, Kin of the Stained... Yeah, I think this is Yasou's brother. I didn't know too much about the lore, so I had to look it up before watching this video. But if you're not familiar with how we do things on this channel, we first react to the video, then we pop it over to Sting Sketch, and we go through it frame by frame, and go through some of the cool stuff that we saw. Now, if at any point you enjoy what we're doing in this channel, or you enjoy something I said was funny or cringe or whatever, just make sure to smash that like button. And if you didn't like something I said, you can dislike the video. Engagement is engagement, baby. And if all that sounds like a good time, sit back, relax, and let's watch this doozy of a cinematic. Because it's like 10 minutes. So strap in, boys. Okay, so again, I had no idea what the lore was with Yasou or his brother, which is what this is about, I think. So I had to do some research prior to this, and I wanted to get this video out 2 days ago. I didn't actually have time, but it's okay, here we are. I got a few comments of people requesting it. So I was like, what the heck? It's like 2-3 days late, but it's okay. It is 10 minutes long though, so I hope you guys bear with me. And again, if you're not familiar with how we do things, after we react to this, I'm gonna take this into Sting Sketch and we're gonna dissect some of the cool stuff that we saw, talk about some of the animation, and yeah, just hang out pretty much. Let's do this. I've heard a lot about this, so. And this is actually, it looks like they're moving more towards like longer cinematics, more towards maybe a film slash TV series. I don't know, I heard some things are in works, but I like this. I like this direction. They definitely have a knack for it. They have the lore for it, they have the money for it, and they hire really good studios to do the animations for these cinematics. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for the future of Riot and Riot cinematics and all these. I want to see some more Valorant cinematics though. Anyways, let's hop into this. Okay, so it's fully 2D right now. Yasou on the right. Not sure.
For what you have done.
Oh, that's his brother.
Turn back.
Yoni.
You have dishonored us. You swore to protect him. You swore to protect Ionia. Look around you, brother. Your honor stains the ground. Better than living without it.
Oh my god, this is freaking sick. Oh man. This is some next level anime shit. This is great. I wonder if the whole thing's gonna be 2D though.
Sorry, brother. I will not fail you again.
Oh man. I feel like I'm watching an episode of Bleach right now. This is great. Dude, we're gonna have so much fun dissecting this. Oh, it's 3D now! Oh, that's so cool. The shaders they use to make this look 2D is actually pretty epic. They've done this with a few cinematics in the past too. It's completely 3D, but with like shaders and texturing magic, it kind of looks 2D. It's great. Really love this style. It's kind of like a little bit of like Spider-Verse sort of thing, but...
Apologies, Opa.
Not really.
I didn't mean to.
It's all right. Ah, the spirits wait for no one.
No, I'm not.
Looking to commune?
That's cool. A little city vibe.
Why else would the great Yasuo come? But are you ready?
That's awesome.
Does that matter?
So
I'll never make it up there.
maybe we'll talk about the story a little bit later, but if you guys know the lore, the story or the cinematic hits different. That's what I heard, and that's why I watched the lore or like videos on the lore before watching this.
Is it?
It's taken years for the spirit blossoms to
That's
return.
beautiful. Oh my god.
The land is ready to heal. Perhaps you are as well.
And this is the way?
I love it.
Old men, flowers, and hope.
Maybe hope is enough.
Maybe.
Immerse yourself in the river Whaley.
So just a little bit of backstory. Yasou was supposed to, I think, I'm not 100% sure, was supposed to protect his village. And I think what happened was he left the village to try and help with the war. And so in the meanwhile, he got to the war late. Everybody died. They went back to the village, and everybody at the village died, and he got blamed for it.
Saw you dishonor yourself.
And I think his brother thinks that Yasou killed everyone at the village,
Not when I want to.
or their master, or something
You don't
like
have anything
that.
to prove.
There is always another fight, Yasuo.
Yeah.
Finding it proves nothing.
And so this is his older brother. Yasou looked up to his older brother. Oh. That's their fight right now. Oh, I guess it's practice.
Your place is here. With Elder Suma. He trained me for this. I can help end this war.
That's what we were talking about. This is, I think, pre-war.
Your duty is to this school. To your master. To Ionia. Then I should be out there protecting her. I won't fail you, Yone. It seems I have already failed you.
Yeah, so Yasou wants to help with the war, but he's told to stay and protect his master and the dojo and maybe the village. I guess this is the story of that. I guess this is the story of the lore.
Drink this. It will help forge a bond between our realms.
A drink rarely gets me out of trouble.
Sometimes we must go looking.
Spoken like a true alcoholic. Shit. Some memories of the past?
And sometimes
That's creepy as hell. Oh, what the? What? That's his brother. Brother's ghost.
Show yourself.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
I'm not here for you.
killing me does nothing, Hunter. If he lives, I will return.
This is great. Round 2. I'm getting some next level Naruto and Sasuke vibes over here. This is great.
Suma's great pupil.
Holy shit.
What a disappointment. And your honor from you.
Better than living without it.
Oh.
No murderer. Then why are you running?
Oh shit. I got goosebumps. This is great.
I'm done running.
Oh shit. This is so freaking cool, man. Oh my god. I'm guessing that's gonna be his sound effect in the game. That's pretty dope. Oh.
Have your revenge, brother. You might deserve death, but not by my hand. Then there is nothing left for me in Ionia. Even the wind has a path, brother. Farewell,
I love it.
Yone.
I also love how they go back from 2D to 3D. It's like the past is 2D, and then as they go forward and present time, it's 3D. That's pretty awesome. That was great. There's more to it? Oh, there's something in the end.
It's easier looking back, isn't it? The trick is seeing what lies ahead.
Who's that?
From what I hear, most likely thieves, beasts, and drink.
It is a lawless place, where you can decide your own fate.
That's cool. I love the textures, man. Oh my god.
Besides, we're both looking for something, aren't we?
And you think we'll find it?
Is that Ari?
I think we'll find many things.
Yeah. Sorry. Literally looks like a female version of Naruto, I swear to God. I think that's that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was beautiful. First of all, it was awesome action scenes, awesome 2D animation, awesome 3D animation, awesome texture. It was just so good. All right, let's pop this bad boy into Sync Sketch. Let's see what we can analyze. That was awesome. All right, so we're just hopping in now, and one of the first things I noticed about the 2D, so again, they're doing 2D for the past, 3D for the present time, which is pretty cool, and they try to match the look of the 3D to look as close as possible to the 2D, which I really appreciate. I'm kind of like looking into how to do that in Blender right now. I know there's a few add-ons for it, but I know most of you guys watching this aren't animators. You're coming over from League or from other games, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's really cool when you can make 3D look 2D. It gives me such a, I don't know how to explain it. It gives me such a warm feeling when I see that, and when it's done right and it doesn't look like shit. This one's done well. Anyways, one of the first scenes of this cinematic is this right here, and the first thing I noticed is, which it's expected, so what they want to do is they want to get as much performance, as much impact from the shot with the least amount of money and effort spent. And so, mind you, it's in great detail. But what they've done is for the background, so for stuff in the background like these leaves, for the camera movement, so for these things, they're actually done frame by frame. That means if we go, so just pay attention to these things, for example, and also to the rain. So when we go frame by frame, every frame this is moving and the rain is coming down, so all the effects, all the non-drawn effects I should say, and all the background stuff are sort of in their own layer. Like they've animated this, for example, and they've just sort of put this in a layer in the foreground, and they're like animating in like After Effects or something, frame by frame. It's not drawn, it's not hand drawn every single frame. So Yasou and like the stuff that's drawn, like the coat, the hair, and the pants are moving every other frame. So they don't move for a frame, then they move. But the rain and everything in the background kind of moves every single frame. So if you guys pay attention, this moves, this moves, this moves. Then the rain also moves every single frame. But when you look at Yasou, he's not moving, then this is moving. It's not moving again, then he's moving. And so on. And they've also, what they've done is they've offset the movement of the pants with the movement of the hair and the coat, just so when you're watching this, it doesn't look like it's like staggering. It looks like it's like there's constant movement on every single frame, but they've only had to draw it every other frame. So let's look at this real time now. it looks fairly smooth when you're looking at it real time, but when you go frame by frame, you realize that since it is drawn, they want to save as much time as possible. And yeah, so there's just constant offset between this piece, and oops, and this piece. So this moves, then these two move, then this moves, nothing moves, this moves by itself, and so it's just constant, like, just going back and forth, and that kind of gives each object a texture too. Like, for the example, the pants wasn't moving as much as the hair just because it's less flowy, and so it was moving on less frames. So it's just like small stuff like that could probably save them like tens of hours just doing that. And if you pay attention here, you'll see that the rain in the background is moving every single frame. Like, these things are every single frame. But then if you go frame by frame again, it's like one frame, nothing's moving this frame, next frame is moving, and so it goes on for the entirety of the 2D part of the cinematic. Also, this is freaking sick right here. They kind of do the same thing here where they offset the brothers. So on some frames, the brothers are moving at the same time, but other frames, for example, Yasu's moving, the brother's not moving. Then they both move, then both move, then the brother moves and Yasou doesn't move, and so they're constantly trying to save on time. But when you play real time, look how smooth and how freaking sick this looks. But it just looks freaking sick. I love it. I love it. Oh, that was okay. So last time I'm gonna mention this, but you guys can see the camera like I mentioned before. Now the camera is moving every single frame, so it's zooming out. But if you pay attention to the sword, it's actually staying for one frame, then, you know, kind of teleporting forward just to keep up with the pace of the camera. So it's not moving, then it's moving, and so on. So meanwhile, the camera is zooming out because it's in a different space, and they're just redrawing the sword every other frame. Now this scene is pretty sick. I actually didn't realize this when I was watching this. I think this is originally when Yasou gets the cut on his nose. I totally missed this. This is where his brother shatters the sword, and when you go frame by frame, the cut on his nose is they actually drew that frame by frame as well. So when you go through this frame by frame, you can see it kind of traveling on the face. They're trying to keep it on track because it's definitely on a different layer as well. So they're trying to keep it in the same position as he's turning his face, because they went frame by frame with this, and it looks pretty freaking awesome. Here it slices open. Oh, that looks painful as hell. And this is when shit gets real. He goes full Yasou. Again, I guess some serious like Naruto versus Sasuke or like Afro Samurai vibes from this. This is great. I love it. So here's where the fight really picks up pace, and they try to show that too. This is where like this is where they decide to just let loose and just go to town. And so this is where it really picks up. You know, it's super fast paced, and so you don't want that staggering. Look at this foreshadowing. Holy crap. The sword's like half the size of the screen. That's great. But so when the fight picks up pace, when you go frame by frame, the clothing is now just flickering. Since there's so much wind, it's just flickering every single frame. So they redrew it every single frame to depict that like fast-paced fight environment. So this just looks freaking epic. Oh my god. Beautiful. Beautifully done. This is where we pop into 3D. This is my shit. This is my jam. Yeah, so they've done a beautiful job of mixing 2D and 3D here, as I've said before. So for example, this right here is a 2D painting. It's a matte painting. And so all they've done is, here we jump into the 3D scene. But like, so as you guys can see, if you pay close attention, this hill right here is moving at a different rate than this big hill in the back. And so the farther the things are, and this is probably moving slower than this hill over here. So what they've done is it's several different paintings, one in front of the other. And so with the camera, they've sort of moved it at like a slower and slower rate. So it gives you the sense of like distance and that they're more far away, but really they're just 2D drawings. They actually used to do this a lot with older Disney films. When they wanted to show like the distance, they had this whole process, this whole system where it was like multiple different drawings, and there was a camera on top filming it from the top down. And so the way they showed distance is they didn't have really good technology back then, so it was just different drawings on literally different layers. Now we just do this in a 3D space on the computer. And so this is what they've done here. They have like a painting in the background, and then Everything else is probably rendered in the foreground in 3D. So every time I look at these cinematics, it's fun for me to look at crowd shots. So for example, these are the main characters, most likely, the animators just animated these characters. But when you know there was a lot of love involved, you'd see that the crowd characters, so all these guys, are doing something that's productive. They're not just sitting around and going like, they're actually doing something, which they are in this scenario. You know, this guy's selling stuff to this person, this guy's looking at him selling stuff, he's like, oh yeah, I agree with what he's saying, please buy my product. And this guy's pointing at like a rug over there. But a lot of stuff usually gets missed when you have a lot of characters in the scene. And you know, a shot usually goes through only so many people. Like it goes through at the point where it turns 3D, it probably goes through the layout artist, and then it gets to the animator, and then it gets to the lead, and then it gets to the supervisor. And if these guys catch anything, it either goes back to the animator or it goes to the cleanup artist. And this is Anim. And so, but if it gets missed by the animator, and it gets missed by the lead, and it gets missed by the supervisor, and lastly, if it gets missed by the director, it makes it to the film usually, you know? Like, some small stuff aren't usually noticed. And so, you know, when these guys are looking at it, they're not looking at these characters, they're looking at the main characters right here. They're looking at their actions. They're not really too focused on these guys. So usually a lot of stuff gets missed when you look at the crowds. So I'm gonna go through two of them right here. It's small stuff, but you know, it's fun to look at because you realize that people are working on this. It's not like you just press make movie button and you know it's made. It's just we're humans, we make mistakes, we miss things, and nobody's perfect. So when we go through this, I want you to pay attention to this guy's arm, and then I'll cover the other thing that I noticed right away. So here we're gonna go backwards, and we see that his arm is actually clipping through the table here. And it's actually inside the table right here. You can still see the top of his wristband right there. It's just clipping back and forth inside the table. Here again, it's completely going through the table. Yeah. Even here, it's still on the table. So that's that guy. And I'm sure there's more, but I'm not gonna, you know, try and nitpick everything. But the other thing is, I want you to pay attention to her coat. As she's walking past this guy, her coat kind of completely clips through his clothing. And so we could, you know, it's just, yeah, that's that. I mean, it's small, but it's just like stuff like this that you notice, and it's completely fine because when you watch this, it has nothing to do with the scene. Like when we play this real time, yeah, there's gonna be clipping, but like you don't really notice that guy. You don't really notice this. You're focused on these two trying to sell the action. But it's just, again, it's fun to look at just because you see that this is made by humans and there's people working on this and people miss things. So I thought that was fun to point out. Time to have fun with Uncle Sam tonight. Yeah, this part's really freaking creepy. Holy shit. And this part's pretty sick. We got 3D effects on the water and it's mixed with 2D effects. And from here on out, it kind of goes like that. They just mix 2D and 3D together, and I freaking love that. It's just 2D effects, 3D animation, and some 3D effects as well, which I'll show you guys. So here Yasou is a little dazed and he's turning around. Now, the one thing I want to point out about him turning around, the thing I'd like to talk about that I took away from that is we have two ways of turning around. One way is like when you know the situation and you want to, I don't know, make a remark or something, you kind of turn around with your body first and you're like, yeah, I know that, you know, that's an example. But when you're surprised or you heard something or something happened and that's behind you and you want to figure out what it is, you turn with your head first. You kind of just like you turn and then your body shifts and tries to like catch up to your head. And that's sort of what's happening to Yasou here. He's kind of dazed here. He gets up and then he's like, oh right, what the heck just happened? So what happens is his head leads the action. His head goes down into an arc, down and over in like a shocking manner. It just like, and then what you see is his body is sort of slowly turning with his head and catching up in the frames after. So again, one more time. Let's take a look at this. So the head turns a solid like 2 or 3 frames before the body starts like reacting to the head. And that's why it looks like a shocking, what just happened? It's just because the head is leading the action and not the body. And here's the example of 3D effects that I was talking about. If you were trying to do, I'm talking about this right here. If you were trying to do this in 2D, it would just be like an absolute nightmare. So what they've done here is most likely some particle effects in either Houdini or Nuke or some of those post-production programs. I don't know, Houdini isn't really post-production. Anyways, you guys probably don't even know what that is. But yeah, so it just is more like they give a path and they give it like the particle weight and sort of a soul. They give it, okay, they tell it, okay, go into this direction, be this thick here, be this thin here. So it's all like a path and it's a particle system, because drawing these frame by frame, these like thousands of little dots, it's just not realistic. So again, they've done everything in their power to try and be cost effective and have it look cool. That's what I really like. And yeah, the cinematic is really long. So I just the reaction part's gonna be 10 minutes, and usually longer videos don't do too well. And so just for the sake of your time and for the sake of mine, I think we're just gonna end the video here. So I just want to thank you guys for dropping by. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. You're welcome to subscribe. We make reaction videos to cinematics, and we also do tutorials for 3D animation if you're interested in that. So make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Let me know what you want me to react to. Let me know what sort of tutorials you guys want to see in 3D. And I just want to give you a quick thank you to my beautiful Patreons. Thank you guys so much for your continuous support. Thank you for helping me improve the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy animating.